If you've noticed an increase in comments by the TU law lecturer and failed barrister, criminal barrister at that, fraudster, liar, perjurist, Ruth Cannon, it is because she's trying again a similar narcissistic defame, lie, and shame tactic, which is really what Ruth Cannon tries to do when she gets quite desperate of being exposed, which is the same tactic that led to Ruth Cannon trying to murder me via cops, via false police complaint, when I was forced to file civil action for obstruction, defamation, abuse, coercive control abuse, and legal fraud, amongst other things, or including but not limited to. That is the exact reason the situation with Ruth Cannon exists now, because Ruth Cannon panicked. There is a phone recording I'll put up later where Ruth Cannon discusses that if I do file legal action against her, it will quote unquote ruin her. So everything at this point and up to this point has been Ruth Cannon's malicious and malevolent attempts to obstruct very righteous and valid civil action against her for nearly 2 years of legal fraud and obstruction. And part of that also involves, obviously, Ruth Cannon trying to protect the failed journalist, blogger, and paedophile-obsessed Irish QAnon like John Ryan and his bimbling imbecile actions with the Irish far right, and his involvement in various strange activities online and such. So that's what happened. Anyway, again, Ruth Cannon's knowledge of the filing in the court should never have. She should never have at the point when the raid happened, which Ruth Cannon directly referenced as being directly because of the filing made with the Irish High Court. Ruth Cannon broke protocol. Again, like there is literally no part of the law this woman will not break. And she got, I suppose, illegal access to a court filing before she'd been served it. As to my knowledge, that's not the way things are supposed to be done. But because Ruth Cannon, under oath in the district court, has said that this is what led her to the fact, like she's given the timeline, because Ruth Cannon is a because we are all now witness to Ruth Cannon having what is commonly referred to as a narcissistic rage. How do we put it? It's it's sad. It's it's embarrassing, but in the depths of the narcissistic rage, we end up in a point where maybe what normal cold logic, this petty, malignant narcissist would normally apply to our actions, it's not fully there, because as it is the standard basic shallow narcissistic rage that she will act like the buffoon she normally is in all things. I mean, this is someone who went forward. There was Ruth Cannon, TU lecturer, TU Dublin, went forward to talk about how her Ryvita diet, like crackers, her diet of rye crackers, was responsible for her abusing me. This is someone also where we get into the attempted murder and the coercive control by Ruth Cannon. Ruth Cannon forgets that when this goes forward, and eventually, and I hope you're listening, Ruth, I'm going to obliterate you in court because there's so much audio. Obliterated. There'll be nothing of you left. All I have to do is release the audio of you screaming about me not having committed suicide yet, just to start with. But then I'll obliterate Shane Cahill as well, because I have all the recordings from right after the bail hearing. Oh, and if Donald Quigley's out there, you're more than welcome to try and deny the things you've said about Ruth Cannon, as we'll drop those recordings as well. So, as you can see, Ruth Cannon doesn't have a lot of places to go. She can sit in YouTube comments and lie. She can contact people in other countries and take advantage of their suspicious elderly nature. I hope you're listening, Erky. And lie to them. But at the end of the day, this is a failed murderess. And her creepy, self-exiled, paedophile-obsessed, failed blogger boyfriend, John Ryan. And now, to address the point made about Finbar Cahill and Company, or Cahill and Co. as it is known now, where the primary now is James Cahill, Ruth Cannon used to do work there for a solicitor, a property solicitor, a respected solicitor named Andrew Madden. She was sacked for incompetence, unreliability, and unprofessional behaviour, insofar as a contract was discontinued. She is not a colleague of that man, and any comments there about her being a colleague of that solicitor are just lies. In the same way that when Ruth Cannon talks about me having legal action or legal difficulty with solicitor Andrew Madden, it is a lie. She is a liar. That has never happened. There is no legal record of that. At a certain point, I'm assuming that the extremely private Andrew Madden will come to his attention, probably because I and a couple of people are in the process of telling him that he may not appreciate Ruth Cannon incoherently trying to validate her lies and criminal behaviour with Andrew Madden's reputation, because that is what Ruth Cannon is trying to do, because Ruth Cannon is a hateful, lying, narcissist, lunatic, and lies. And it has been shown time and time again that Ruth Cannon is a liar. I post recordings and evidence. Ruth Cannon sits in comments going, "It's not really lying," with no retort evidence. Ruth Cannon contacts people and lies to them with no evidence. I post evidence. Ruth Cannon was sacked by Cahill and Company for being unprofessional, unreliable. That's the truth. All mentions of any relative of mine that Ruth Cannon tries to bring in to validate her criminal, narcissistic, malignant behaviour are lies and should be treated as such. This is a sick, possibly close to sociopathic or psychopathic woman who has done this before, who targets vulnerable people, who uses her job at TU Dublin, or maybe she still has a job, I don't know, to validate herself. And right now, it's common con woman actions where she tries to validate over other people, such as Donald Quigley or Garrett Charles Casey, who already has pretty much put his career in the icebox from committing fraud for Ruth Cannon. But as she tries to validate her criminal actions over nameless people who she names then deletes the comments of, such as Andrew Madden, who does not have a large presence online and tries to convince people via shaky con woman comments. I hope that the people who do waste their life to read those comments take the time to realise what she's doing. And I just put this up because, all I can do is keep reiterating things as I drag the evil into the light. This is a liar, a narcissist, a con woman, a fraud, an abuser, and her name is Ruth Cannon.